There's so much lore and mythology in this world that you've found yourselves in. How do you keep up with it? How do you not get lost?
We do get lost. It can be very confusing and overwhelming.
Yeah, I think when you read the script, it's just like, it's like a book, you know? So you gotta be like, okay, wait, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I sometimes I need a visual, I'm a visual learner, so I'm like, draw
Definitely.
what this is and tell me how, and yeah, but it's been, yeah, you just gotta keep up with it. But we also have like the best writers ever, so you kind of get to just ask them any question that you have, and they have the answer.
And then they explain it and I'm still confused. And then I have to go to VFX and be like, can you guys like draw it out and show it to me?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I definitely feel like I said a goodbye to a part of myself, which was really hard. I think that's why it felt like a death, and I kept saying that. You know, even in therapy, I was like, it feels like somebody's died, and I just don't understand why I feel so upset, because I've been through this multiple times before with characters. Like, I say goodbye to characters all the time. I just wrapped my last movie, you know, but it's just a piece of me. I don't understand. And I was really having a hard time understanding why I couldn't keep being her. Like, I'm like, okay, I could just play her anytime I want, but it's not the same thing. Like, you just need to be in the environment with the people, and it's that really builds it for me. But it definitely took a lot of work on myself to kind of say goodbye to a version of myself that I really deeply valued and loved.
And it's always with you there. Like,
it's always with you, but it's just not. Like, she's just not there anymore, and like neither is anyone else. And I think that's also really hard, right? It's just be like, I'm never going to be able to be 11 and play
like you
a
won't play
scene
it,
with
but
Will.
what she taught you and like.
Yes, of course, and those are memories and lessons I'll take throughout my whole career. But of course,
But yeah,
and that kind of energy, and all of that I used for the season.
But you know, it's been really rewarding.
I mean, it's definitely been a piece of me, and I agree with that. Like, the next day I was like really way more devastated than I thought I was going to be, and less so for the character for me. Like, I loved playing Will. He's such a huge part of it. But like being around everyone in that environment, like we will always have each other as friends, but being on set together and working with each other and working with her in those roles, like, we'll never have that again. And so having to say, goodbye to that was
hard.
So, are you just counting down the days, like going, oh my god, I've only got like 10 days until this?
Yeah, no, I think that since season 1, like, our theme has been stay hopeful and
like stay true to your
stay
friends
together.
And
yeah,
yourself.
stay together and stick together, and friendship is everything, and believe in the mission, believe in yourselves, but mostly believe in the common goal. And I think that carries through towards season 5, and you'll see how that unravels. But I also think that it's something that we all as a cast truly believe in. It's just like, stick together and we get through it together, and we're a family till the day we die. Whether we like it or not, we're always going to be family. And I think that is something I'll always carry with me, and I think that's why the show is what it is, because we believe in that too, and we all have the common goal, and every single year we bring it better and better and better. And I think that this season, I've never seen the cast come together more in the years, and we bring it like I've never seen it before.
Do you think that's just because everybody was like, this is it, we've really got to pay tribute to this thing that we've done, you know, the
Yeah, it's almost like the biggest thank you to the Duffers. Like, that's how I view it, you know? It's like they gave me this opportunity to be 11 and to bring this character to life for them. And so all I can do is, for the next year, give it my all to say thank you, because I'll forever be in debt. My career is owed to them.
I feel like I get that about other people. Like, I don't think I'm ever.
About everyone else, yeah.
Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes there's a line where I'm like, okay, I did okay there, because I'm so used to being like, oh, that sucked. And so sometimes when you get a good one, it's nice. But usually for me, it's like I'm like, what? Like I'm like watching someone else's performance and being like, wow, like that was awesome.
I've come to learn that when I may enjoy a take of my own, which is, you know, I think the baseline for most people is that they're gonna watch and be like, and most of the time there's clenching involved and sweating and like, I hope this is okay. And I've come to realize that the best thing I give myself usually is, okay, yeah, I think that was
That
fine.
worked.
Like, that's like the most like that I've ever really gone there. So and there's been a bit of that on this end, but I'm just wildly impressed with everybody in the room and everybody there.
I think we already said goodbye to the hardest part, which was just the experience of being on set. Like that's the show for us. Now it's like a different wave where it's saying goodbye to being able to share it with everyone. So I don't know what I'm most excited to say. I don't know if I'm particularly excited to say goodbye to anything. But I know the hardest thing to say goodbye to is just like the fact that like we won't come together on set in that way ever again. But you know, I think we had our closure for that.
Yeah.
How tough is it to not like tell people everything?
It's actually pretty easy. It's not that hard. I mean, when I was doing season 4, so many of my friends were so excited about the character and so excited about the show that they wanted to know everything, and I kept my lips like completely sealed. So now most of my friends know not to ask me, and if anybody even sort of has an inclination, that I might say something which I would never, but they're like, no, actually, do you know what? Don't tell me. Like, I want to experience it for myself, and that's really, really cool. I feel like there's this sort of collective excitement. It's quite a meditative process, in all honesty, because you really are at the sort of hands of the team of people that you're working with. Barry Gower and Duncan Jarman and Mike McCash and Annie Taggy, came along and applied this makeup, and we just became this really well-oiled machine. So you just kind of fall into a very meditative, calm state of being. And Barry and I were talking, because I'm working with Barry now on something else, and we're friends as well. And Barry was like, it was so interesting. The music would always start really calm, and then as it was like maybe an hour and a half before you knew you would have to go onto set, the music would start to get harder, and it would start to get faster, and it would start to get more aggressive. And so by the time you walked out, it's like being a boxer. It's that kind of thing, stepping into that character. So it's just preparation, and also on a selfish level as well, I kind of love being the first guy at work as well. Like, you get to walk into like an empty soundstage and be like, cool, I'm going to be in here later, but there'll be more people. So it's cool, I like it.
Are you gonna miss the 80s?
Yeah. I think so. I think it's such a nice, without all the internet, social media, there's something so magical about that time, so innocent and kind of the way that people interact with each other and relate to each other, and it's so different. It's been so fun to kind of live in that world of reading books to figure things out, and the walkie-talkies, and so yeah, it's been nice. I'll miss it.
I'm not gonna miss the pants. There's an
denim.
80s pants cut. It wasn't for me the stiffness. It was the tapering toward the ankle.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't like how that looks on me or feels, and I'm not gonna miss the pants.
Not gonna miss the haircut.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it's going to be a very unique experience to get all the fans. Yeah.
Well, it's cool. We're all friends. Like, we just do like each other. So it's cool to watch your friends go do things and succeed in different ways. And like any friend, you sort of, when you're busy with other stuff, maybe you don't talk as much. But it's always been so nice to, when we come back, we're hanging, and I don't know. There's that's what I will miss a lot, is us coming back together. And I don't know if it's totally hit me that we're not going to do that again. We're not going to come back in the same way. So, but yeah, everyone's experience outside, it always kind of influences the character in a new way. I think everybody's character kind of changes when we change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you come back to that same character? Do you find it easy? Yes, it's good acting, but do you find it easy with all the life experience in between to come back and snap back into that human that you were 3-4 years ago.
I think it changes. You were saying this the other day. It kind of changes.
Yeah, that to me, I hope that when an audience watches the last 3 seasons, they see the same character on a journey. But if I go back and do a rewatch, I see kind of 3 different characters, like based on where I was and what I wanted to explore, what I was comfortable with, what I wasn't comfortable with at any given period of time. And I think the Duffers are such great writers, and the relationships and the story structures are so strong that I feel like you really can live within their language and, shape it a little bit to what feels right to you right now and what you want to explore in yourself right now. But that their writing is sturdy enough that the still kind of core of the character is always there, and their directing. And so I feel like that I enjoyed always coming back and being like, this is actually a totally new person on a totally new adventure, and I'm going to find the consistency within the writing and the consistency within the physical body and form that I take.
It's, it doesn't happen in a vacuum in a sense. I mean, we do get to go make this show in like this nice space, I think, that has been carved out, and we can really hunker down and make this. But I do think the fans' reception and the audience reception is a big part of, the show's success, and also why we've been able to do it for so long.
The drive
and like
as well.
Absolutely.
It's a long thing to do. You're shooting it for a year,
sure.
and it's a bit of a marathon. And I'm thinking of like when we got halfway through this year, and there is that it does help you kind of keep moving. That you're like you want to do its service because that.
Yeah, you do want to make something.
You're
making something together to give to an audience. So it's always in mind.
I also think part of what makes the first season so special is that you guys didn't have that yet or know that was there, that people were going to like it. Yeah. And I think that the line between artist and entertainer is like fuzzy and blurry, and sometimes you feel like a court jester being paid by the king to like juggle lemons. And sometimes you feel like a real artist and creative.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important, and we all try to do this for each other, to block that stuff out when we're working, so that we can keep the identity of the show, what made people originally like it, which is that it felt scrappy and real and modest and like these young people that no one had ever seen before who are all geniuses and incredible, like making something. And you want to keep that and bring that in every day. And when it's like, all the social media and did you see this meme and come over here and do this, and when it becomes more about the industry of the show and like selling T-shirts than it is about making connections, not only do I think it's a disservice to us, but I think it's a disservice to the fans, because it's not what it's like. And so we have to participate that and do it, but also protect the thing that makes the show meaningful.
I mean, logistically, it was really challenging because we have some of the biggest sequences ever. Actually, the biggest as far as special effects and visual effects are concerned. There's just a lot of action, so it was very challenging on that front. And then it was challenging just on an emotional level, I think. I don't think it really hit us or the cast until the last couple of weeks. But once we hit the last couple of weeks, it was very difficult because we knew we were filming these characters for the final time, and we were saying goodbye to the cast. Not like we're saying permanently goodbye to them, but in the capacity of Stranger Things, of playing these characters, and that ensemble will never be together again. So it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah, like you said, we haven't really worked together since season 1. So at the beginning of kind of the year's worth of shooting, you're kind of looking through the script, like, who am I going to work with? And to my delight, I feel like it was great to discover that we had a lot of stuff to do together, because that means get to spend a lot of time together, and also kind of cool to have these characters sort of meet back up at the end of this story.
Totally, yeah.
And I think it's a reflection of how far the characters have maybe come as well.
Do you guys feel like Steve should move on?
It's a great question. I don't know. I think, like he says, that's my friend. We're just friends. I think, obviously, when you are
first forming those kind of like romantic partnerships in your life, you always kind of have a soft spot for those people in your life. So I think, I think the same thing is true for these characters. And obviously we're all still friends and in this unit, so it's a little messy, but yeah, I think it's all in good fun, and none of it is like, none of it, they mean each other no harm, I think.
What is the strangest fan theory that you ever heard since season 1?
Oh man, there have been some wild ones out there. You know, the one that gained so much traction was Eddie coming back to life as a vampire. I don't know where that came from, but no, Eddie is dead, R.I.P. But that was always a fun one.
Can
to
you
see.
imagine? I imagine and try to imagine how it would work.
Joe Quinn with
Joe Quinn sprouting wings.
I don't know.
Hey, he is flying in Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's as close as you're gonna get.
Maybe it could have
Eddie
worked.
Being a vampire
could have worked.
I always find the tattoo things a bit
That's strange.
weighty. Yeah,
But
strange.
cool.
I mean, cool. Yeah, cool. A lot of pressure though.
You're on someone's bicep out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's flattering. I don't know.
It's cool with kids too. I think like we talked about this season 1, but like when you see someone dressing up as your character for Halloween.
Yeah, surreal.
That's so cool.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I've been in a urinal, like straight ahead, and someone going, "Oh," and I've been like, "Hey," and they're like, and I've been asked for a photo. Literally, the guy was like, "Can I get a photo?" And I was like, "Not now." That was pretty strange.
Yeah, well, he's definitely had a bit of an aesthetic change for sure from last season. He fell out of a window, he got set on fire, and he was shot. Poor guy. So season 4, you know, our prosthetic time was about 7 to 8 hours, and for Stranger Things 5, our prosthetic time was cut down. You know, you're getting to work really early, and you're having a lot of prosthetics put on you. And then, of course, there's the sort of emotional building of the character, understanding the motivations, understanding who he is, where he's coming from. And that often takes place in isolation to begin with. It's what people I know refer to as like kitchen work. You know, it's that work that you just sat scribbling away. And then reference as well was a huge part of it too. So it's not just about kind of appearing on set one day and becoming the character. It takes some time to build it so that you can step back into it. Yeah.
Once you are in that costume, you cannot get out of it for like breaks and stuff. So I kind of imagine like lunch breaks, everybody's like there chilling, and I imagine Vecna like having a salad or something.
Vecna has a smoothie. That's what Vecna has to have. Vecna has to have things with straws. Otherwise, his prosthetics will fall off. Yeah, a lot of protein smoothies just to sort of try and stay as energized as possible was what I needed. Yeah, avoiding anything too greasy. I think what's important to remember with Mr. What's-It this season is that this is a sort of presentation of what he wants people to see in order to feel comfortable. Whereas what we were seeing in season 4 was a real life occurrence. It was an experience that Henry had when he was in Hawkins' lab with Eleven and with Brenner. With Stranger Things 5, what you're seeing is, well, how can I show you that you can be comfortable with me even though I know and the rest of the world knows my motivations and my end game. I used more reference, I think, this season with regards to Mr. What's-It and that side of Henry. You know, for 4, I really sort of looked at some films that were already out there. And I took and also obviously building the memory. And I took those things with me into 5, but also elaborated on those things as well. So I used people like Mr. Rogers, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I used Willy Wonka, even in parts, and the Pied Piper of Hamelin as well. So it was always about building this pretense with a truth underneath it. Well, with fans of Stranger Things, everyone's really sweet. Everyone's been so nice. I've never really had like a very odd encounter when it's come to fans of Stranger Things. I've never really had that much of an odd encounter, period. Yeah, someone sent me a wheel of cheese once.